Want to know how to make shredded deer meat in your Instapot? Here's the video for you. It's good. I have here about 5 pounds cut from the hindquarters of a big doe. Or you can use buck, it don't matter. You must have liquid in your Instapot. You can use beef broth, chicken broth, whatever it is you like. Beef broth does really good with venison because it gives a nice flavor. But I don't have any, so I'm simply using water. Water does a very good job. So here's what we got. Put me a layer of sweet chili sauce on it. A little bit of sriracha went on top of it. A little taco seasoning mix here. Only 1 pack, because 1 pack is good for 2 pounds worth of meat. We got 5 pounds of deer meat in there. So this is going to add just a little bit extra spice to it. Not much. Because keep in mind, people, the spices and everything you're putting in is sitting on top of the meat right now. It'll cook into the meat somewhat. But once you get to shredding, everything you got going on here is going to get incorporated into the shredded meat. So it's going to be good. And after I put the dry spices in, I went with another layer of this right here because it's really, really good stuff. I like it. So, put the lid on it and we'll crank her up and get her to cooking. Now the back end of your Instapot, after you get the lid, put it on there, lock it down. And you got this little thing right here. This right here is what controls your pressure, your steam. You got venting push right there. Right there you got sealing. Make sure you got this over to the ceiling because you want the Instapot to build up pressure. And once it starts to build pressure, this little pop-up valve will go pop right on up there, which means the inside is then sealed and it's cooking. So we're going to take our Instapot and push pressure cook. We got that set there. We want to turn it time on up to 2 hours. 2 hours right there. Make sure you're on high pressure, and remember the seal up there. Make sure you got it on sealed and not venting. And in a moment it'll go beep beep beep. There you go. It's on. Elements heating up, and then we gotta wait for the little pop-off valve up there. It'll go pop up and it'll be cooking. Now let's talk about why did I choose 2 hours for the game meat. Whenever I do chicken, most of the time it's 20 minutes, 30 minutes top or something like that. But game meat tends to be a little bit more on the tougher side. So if you turn that baby up to about 2 hours, all that heat and all that pressure tenderizes the meat much, much better. So in your game meats, aside from like rabbit, I did rabbit one time, and I think I only had it for about 20, 30 minutes. But in your big game, try to run it for about 2 hours. You're not really going to overcook it. You're just going to make it much more tender. And as far as water, make sure you got at least a cup and a half or something like that of water at the bottom of it, because it needs that water to create the steam to build up that pressure inside of it. So all you gotta do, 2 hours, cup and a half or so of water, spice it up, good to go. So in that 2 hours, we'll pop that baby loose and we'll shred the meat. Yes, yummy. Now as you can see there, the little pop-up has popped up. We are cooking. So you know what that means? That means I was in there on my computer working on my other YouTube channel and forgot to come in here and check this. So now we're on keep warm. Take your pressure cooker. We're just going to hit cancel, turn it off. And what we're going to wait on is this little pop-up right here. It's going to drop on its own, which means it's natural release on pressure. When this right here drops down, it's called natural release. You can manually flip this right here to bleed out the steam and stuff. That would be called a manual release. You do a natural release. Wait till that right there drops, then you can open it up. And there you go. Down it pops. Open up your Instapot. Check out the goodness. You're gonna get a lot of water drain off right there, so make sure you don't spill it everywhere. Yummage. Grab me a fork, see what this stuff tastes like. Of course I got to drain off. Ooh, we got steam. Uh-oh, we got steam. Let's clean off the lens. Okay, let's try this again. Get in here, look at that. Ooh, tender. Yes, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Now before we get too froggy about tearing it apart, so okay, I want to drain off all that fluid, all the liquid down there. Then we'll actually get in here and shred this stuff up. Let's take a little test bite. Good and tender. Good stuff. Alright, let's get all this liquid drained off. And leave just a little bit of liquid left in the bottom of it, because when we shred it, we're going to mix that liquid in with the meat. Then what I did, I took me an oven mitt holding onto the edge right here and just kind of put me a plate over the edge right here and drained it up in the sink. So now we're going to pull out this thing right here, dump all the meat into what little bit of liquid is left, then we're going to shred it up. Now to shred up to me, I just get me 2 forks and get in here and just start pulling the meat apart. I mean, it's nothing fancy. I've got a set of meat shredders, but you can see how tender it is. It takes nothing to pull that apart. So I got a set of them. Let me show you. Let me pull them out here. Here's my little meat shredder. I take one claw, hold it in one hand, the other claw in the other hand, just pull the meat apart. But if I was doing a great big roast and making a whole bunch of barbecue, or shredded, should I say, then I would probably use those. But I'm not for right now. So I'll put a link down there for a set of these if you want. And a friend of mine had a peppered chef party and I ordered some from her, so that's where those come from. But old school fork worked just fine. Look how easy it is. Look, pull this chunk up here. Get up here. Get up here. Heck, I can't get up here. It keeps falling apart. Well, I was going to show you how easy it is, but you can kind of see because it fell apart. Right there's some of the healthiest meat that you can eat. Heart healthy, no cholesterol. You know this is grain fed because, I mean, come on, what else does deers eat? Yum. Alright, I'm going to scoop me out a bit and have a little meal. Now that I've got most of the meat pretty well shredded, you can see right there you got a little bit of residual liquid left in the bottom of it. I left about roughly 3/16 of an inch of liquid in the bottom of it. So as I was shredding it, I'll mix that liquid in with the meat. You'll get some of your spices back, but you'll also moisturize that meat so it doesn't get dry on you. Pull me out some here in the bowl. So I'm going to pull up a little strand. I'm going to show you guys some. Look at this. Put it between my fingers, give it a little pull. It comes apart so easy. And like I said, with big game, you want to go for about 2 hours. That'll make that meat super, super tender. Anything less, no, it tends to be a little bit more on the chewy side. Small game, rabbit, squirrel, stuff like that, you can keep it down to the 15-20 minute range. But deer, elk, any kind of your big game stuff, run it out to about 2 hours. You're not going to overcook it in Instapot, but it will make it much more tender. Now, some of you may think, okay, we poured out a lot of that liquid where, as we cooked it for about 2 hours, not only the water we put into it to give it the moisture that it needs for the Instapot to do its job, but we poured out a lot of liquid that come out of that meat. So some of you are thinking, hey, we poured out a bunch of spices. Not really, no. Each time I take a bite, the spices I put into it are there. It's not crazy overbearing. So the spices done a great job. So there you go. Want to make some shredded deer meat for your barbecue sandwiches, tacos, whatever you want to put them on. It's all good. Good stuff. See y'all. Peace. You say, and some of y'all are going to say, hey, what if I pull it straight out of the freezer and it's frozen? You can still do that. If you got frozen in like a Ziploc bag, or I do a lot of vacuum pack, the vacuum seal bags, what I do with that, I'll dip it in water, warm water just long enough to get the plastic to release from the meat. Take the meat out of the plastic, throw it straight in there, even with the frozen. But if you take it from frozen to, you got 2 hours, if it's frozen, add about another 15 to 20 minutes to it, and you're good, depending on how much meat. We did 5 pounds there, so 5 pounds of meat. If it were frozen, I would probably add about another 30 minutes to it, something like that. Like I said, you're not going to overcook it. You're just going to make it more tender. But if it's frozen, you got to thaw it out, then it's got to cook. See what I'm saying? So, I've done it many times. Good stuff. Peace out. Later.